of 8 kids. We moved here in 1970. Father was the director of Tyson Foods, the processing division, for many years. My brothers are all in the engineering business and packaging business. I live here in Fayetteville with my 4 kids. My wife of 25 years, Monica, and I have a real estate transaction business, a real estate transaction company downtown on Meadow Street. My wife is living out her dreams and her passion. She's in fashion merchandising and celebrating her 21st year here in Fayetteville, running her stores by request. And I hope I can earn your vote, and I'm anxious to get underway with the forum. So I'll turn it over to our Mayor Jordan.
Thank you, Tom. My name is Lioneld Jordan. I'm the mayor of the city of Fayetteville, Arkansas. My family has lived in Northwest Arkansas for 6 generations. We've been here since 1866. I've lived in this city 44 years, almost 45. My wife, Diane, is here of 40 years. Yes, there. And we have 4 children. We have 6 grandchildren. We made our home in this city, like I said, for 40 years together. And it's been a wonderful run. Being the mayor of this city has been the dream of my life. It's been a great place. My daddy was a maintenance worker. And I came to this city and I thought it was a city of dreams, and it is a city of dreams. It's been wonderful being the mayor of this city. Some of the accomplishments we've made, and we'll get into the forum tonight, but I've been on the job for 15 years, almost 16, so I've been around the block. I have the drive, the vision, the energy, the character, and the fortitude to continue on with this city. It's the 3rd best place in the United States to live in, and it didn't get here overnight. It's because of all of us working together, and I want to continue doing that. I'm Lioneld Jordan. I'm running for mayor.
Sorry about that. Good evening, everyone. My name is Ron Bob, and I just want to let everybody know right up front, I'm not a professional politician. I come from a humble background. I live in South Fayetteville. I know what it is to do hard work. I know what it is to be a caregiver to your parents. I know what it is to live on a shoestring budget. I know what it is to work from well before the dawn until well after dusk. We need changes that are fiscally responsible, prioritize the needs that have the most value added for our citizens. I'm running on the principles of a conservative base and a fiscally responsible platform. I have many years of management experience in the retail and service industry and as a small business owner. I'm a lifelong resident of Fayetteville. I'm a graduate of the University of Arkansas with a degree in business administration, double major in accounting and finance. We live in a globalized economy. We need to look at business initiatives that provide return on investments and cost avoidance. We need to look at more green energy programs that bring jobs to our area, improving our living wages. All of our decisions require analysis, prioritization, and funding. These changes cannot put an unfair tax burden on our citizens. We need to bring improvements to all parts of our city, not just certain sectors.
Okay, our first question, and I'll start with you, Mr. Baku, and we'll just go down the line because we're sharing mics, okay? So the first question is, Fayetteville has experienced an unprecedented amount of growth that includes not only numbers, but growth of diversity, ethnic, racial, gender. So taking all that in consideration, if you were elected for the next 4 years, what would be your vision for Fayetteville?
I think we need to continue to move forward with that. We've got a great city here, and you got such a diverse group of folks here. We've got very intelligent folks here too. We need to continue to work on that, use everyone's knowledge, get input from the entire city to help us further that cause. We just need to keep going. I'm sorry, we just need to keep on going.
Okay, here's what you have to understand about this city. It's the fastest growing population in the state of Arkansas right now. What I bring to the table is the financial, fiscal management ability, because in the last 7 years, I brought 7 balanced budgets to the city. Sales tax revenue in 2016 is up 5.2%. We reached $1 million in our building permits in half a year, but we thought we'd reach $1 million in a year, but we reached that in a half a year. Right now, our building permits are set at over 770. We got 3 more months to go. Some of the things that I'm going to be bringing in the next 4 years, we're becoming the startup city of the South. That means there's all kinds of small startup business coming in here. We're making that a top priority. We're going to finish up our road construction. Right now, we have done $81 million worth of infrastructure in this city in the last 8 years. $61 million has been in roads, $60 million in trails, and $6 million in sidewalks. We're going to continue to keep that going in the next 4 years. We're going to finish up our regional park. We're going to continue our improvements to College Avenue, and we're going to fix the intersection of Howard Nickel Road onto Van Ash and on around to Howard Nickel Road, completing a complete boulevard all the way around this city. And our trails are going to connect us east and west. It's a big job, and I believe in equality, diversity, and inclusion. I always have and I always will. I believe that everybody's a part owner of this city, and we move it forward together. Thank you.
You want to repeat the question?
The question was, we are growing at an unprecedented rate. We've had a significant growth of diversity, racial, ethnic, gender, and so if you were elected, considering all those factors, what is your vision for Fayetteville?
Thank you. My first vision is enough special elections, enough taxes. I think we've all paid plenty of taxes. I think the things that I see, the negligent supervision over the taxpayers' dollars bothers me on a daily basis. I'm not going to go negative here. I think there's things that have happened within the city that have been really good for the city. I think there's areas of the city that we need to concentrate on. It seems like some of our infrastructure issues, there's some $50 million worth of unfunded things within the city that need to be addressed. We're operating out of a 40-year police station. Our parks and rec facilities are in basically a 900 square foot block building down in the yard. Our transportation facilities, I invite anybody to go down 15th Street and look at our transportation yard, look at those facilities. It's important that the front door of our city is able to compete with the other areas, communities here in Northwest Arkansas. There was an article that came out today that said we were the 33rd or 32nd most prosperous, successful city in Arkansas. I found that alarming personally. There's a handful of cities that were in the top 10 that all are within these 2 counties. There's no reason that we shouldn't be in the top 3. We have this tremendous resource as far as the University of Arkansas. We've got to do something to retain those kids that graduate every year, provide them a platform, provide the jobs, provide the environment. If I hear one more person come up to me and say, but Fayetteville is so hard to do commerce in, we're just going to stay clear and go to Bentonville. That bothers me. That bothers me as a citizen, as a taxpayer, as an entrepreneur, as a risk taker, as a stakeholder. It bothers me. And you can either lead or you can follow, and I think we've been following enough here lately on a lot of issues. Here again, I'm not going to go negative. I think there's been things that have been accomplished that are great accomplishments for our city. I just feel like I can do better.
Well, this next question will follow the same line around growth. With growth, there are always growing pains. And so we will start with Mayor Jordan of this question. Would you please identify one major challenge that has occurred as a result of the growth, and how would you attempt to address it in your next term? If it would be elected.
Well, I think I brought that up just a few minutes ago. We're going to continue to build the infrastructure of this city, because when I came into this office, we were averaging a negative 5% of our sales tax dollars. Now, we're over 5% growth. So I don't know where it is that we're in such bad shape, because right now we're 5% above what we were 5% what we were over last year. So we're about $1 million over what we made in 2015. If nobody's coming here, it's interesting to me that we're averaging a brand new business a day coming in here. I think it's interesting, as the growth continues, we've got to continue to build the infrastructure. As I've said, we're going to continue to build the roads, we're going to continue to build the trails, we're going to continue to build the sidewalks. We're going to continue to properly manage taxpayers' money, as I've said before. We brought 7 balanced budgets to this city in the last 7 years. So I know how to handle money. And do we need more infrastructure? Absolutely. And that's what I've laid out here. In the next 4 years, we're going to continue to pay the debt down in this city. I paid the debt down in this city from $144 million on our CIP bonds down to $92 million. In the next 3 years, we can pay it off. Then we go back to the people. And we can go back to the people, and if you all approve, we can do another $100 million of infrastructure in this city in about probably 2019 to 2020 we can begin. And we're going to continue to make those kind of improvements.
Okay, so as I said, with growing pains, we're growing, so we have some pains. So would you please identify one major area that you see is a challenge, and if you are elected, how would you address it?
Prioritizing the municipal infrastructure is big with me. I've been on the west side of Fayetteville and Densmore Mountain for some 12 years. We've needed a water tower on that side of town for at least 17 years. And here again, we're suffering through inadequate infrastructure. The administrative offices for the transportation division are down at the city yards in the attic of one of the metal buildings. Our Parks and Rec facility, like I mentioned, is in an inadequate facility down next to transportation and recycling. I just see that for some reason we have all these monies and funds available for all these special interests and special projects, but our bricks and mortar, our main core of our infrastructure, whether it's water distribution, whether it's the facilities that we're lacking within our municipality. I saw somewhere on the city's website that we have somewhere around $45 or $50 million worth of unfunded items within the city that have already been identified as needing attention. So, my hope and my expectations are to manage the taxpayers' coffers with transparency and responsibility, and to take care of the core issues of the municipality first, and then go from there.
Yes, I can see problems with the growth in areas of public safety. We've been very fortunate that we haven't had some things happen across our nation, but our police and fire and first responders have done a great job. We've got to look at budgeting enough for them. And then also the lower income people. We've got so many people struggling in this city. And we have to see to their needs. And I know everything depends on the budget. Everything's budget driven, but we have to look at every single facet of that budget to make sure it's beneficial to all of our community, not just, like I said earlier, certain segments. We have to make sure each and every decision we make is not going to put an unfair tax base on some of our citizens. So we just have to be the best stewards of the taxpayers' money as possible. We need to look at each and every decision we make very carefully, closely.
Well, we'll start with you on the next question, Mr. Baldwin. Moving into the discussion of business development, which is a major issue in our city. Would you please discuss your strategy of bringing businesses to Fayetteville? And if you are mayor, if you are elected mayor, what industries would you target to come to Fayetteville?
Well, I think we need to definitely look at more green technology. And my colleague here, they've done a great job to a point, but there's always room for improvement. We've got to look across the state, across the nation, and even internationally, and see what we can bring in here. We really don't have a proper industrial park. We've lost a lot of business to Springdale and other areas. We need to look at ways to improve that. We've got to have better living wage jobs. And whatever industry it is, we've got to encourage it. We've got to be, we have to do the best research possible. We have to stay as active as we possibly can. And like Mr. Kenyon said earlier, we have to get out there and listen to the people's needs and see what they need as far as, needs for business. We also have I've heard from a lot of people about our sign ordinances, and long-time business owners. It makes it tough for them. We've lost a lot of business in the interior of the city here. We've had a lot of changes over the years, and we've lost a lot of our aesthetic beauty in the community.
Mayor Jordan.
Okay, we have a new economic development plan that we've got in place and been passed by the City Council called Fayetteville First. It's a revision of our old economic development plan, which was called Fayetteville Forward. About 500 citizens came together and we talked for about 3 days on how we want to see the economic engine of the city growing back about 2009. We came together and it laid out a blueprint for us to go forward with our economic development. We finished all those 39 points up about 3 years ago, and the City Council and myself felt that we needed a new economic plan, so we started with Fayetteville First. Many of you have been involved in those public input sessions. I hope my two opponents have been in those and given us their input as well. But it has been something that we went to you, asked for your input on economic development. We had a good cross base. We've come forward with Fayetteville First, which I think is a real cutting edge type of economic plan, which looks at the green initiatives, that also looks at job development and increased wages. It's a two-pronged. It's entrepreneur on one side, the startup junkie, and the Chamber of Commerce on the other side with retention. And with the partnership, it's always about partnership. Folks, you can't do everything by yourself. You got to work together. If you're going to drive an economic engine, it takes all of us to drive that engine forward. Every one of us in this room, we're all responsible for that. We're going to get there. And Fayetteville First is going to get us there, and it's going to take us from where we are right now to level. We're going to go from being the third best city in the United States to the first best city in the United States. That's the goal. That's where we're going. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take all of us together.
Okay. Economic prosperity for all. I'm all for it. We have literally served up all of our hospitality and convention business to Benton County. It doesn't exist here in Fayetteville anymore. We have no convention facilities, no adequate number of rooms. Here we are, University Town. We've chased our music venue off. I love the arts and music. I have to travel to Benton County to get my entertainment. Multiple nights a week we travel up there for dining and retail. Most of the newer retail has moved north. I car shop in Benton County. So economic development first is providing a platform and an atmosphere within our municipality where people feel welcome. Where when they go to get their permits or their inspections or want to build a house, where they're treated with respect and courtesy and their request is expedited. Home builder friend called a week or two ago. He experienced the process here in Fayetteville, and then he reminded me of what his experience was in Bentonville. And, you know, I'm concerned about that. I'm concerned about the kindness factor. Kindness matters, okay? Respect matters. Treating the public with respect and not being condescending when they're there in front of you asking for help and direction matters. And so I hope to create an environment where everybody in our community can thrive, where they're welcome, where their request is expedited, where we take down the barriers that currently exist, and we change the aura and the atmosphere of what's going on here in Fayetteville. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to conclude this session, but we will allow each candidate to give 1 minute. We need to stay on schedule. A 1 minute closing statement.
Sure. You know, folks, I have 3 guiding principles in my life. If you come to my office, you see it. There's a sign in my office that said we believe in an open door, we believe in an open heart, and we believe in an open mind. And that's what I govern my life by. I believe in an open door where everyone's accepted in this city, no matter who they are, where they come from, what the color of their skin is, their religious beliefs, or who they love. I believe they should all be accepted in this city. And they will as long as I'm the mayor of this city. Also, I'd like to say I believe in an open mind. I've had 20 town hall meetings, and I've met with those developers for the last 4 years, but obviously my 2 opponents missed those meetings. And the last thing I would like to emphasize right now, I believe in an open heart. I believe in serving rather than being served. You know, what's beautiful about this city, folks, is not what we market, it's what we believe. We believe in one another. And we believe in taking care of one another and getting each other to the next level of taking care of one another. Thank you. I'm Lionel Jordan. I appreciate your vote November the 8th.
Just want to let everybody know I'm running a very low budget, self-funded campaign. I'm not reaching out to anybody's pockets for money. I'm just asking for your vote. I'm trying to get out and meet as many as possible of our fine citizens. I'm relying on word of mouth, social media, and first and foremost, earning your trust and confidence. I'm running this campaign from the heart and a vision to help move the city forward. I was taught the value of hard work and serving others at a very young age from my parents. I've raised 3 children and I also have 6 grandchildren, and I want to make this a place that they will always call home. One of my children's here, my daughter Brittany Gully. I'm very proud of her. Just want to let everybody know our median household income in Fayetteville is $37,350. That's below the state averages of a little over $41,000, and the national average is a little over $54,000. Our state is only ranked 49th out of 50, but yet we're still below the state average. I know we've got a wonderful place to live, but we have to find ways to raise it. There are too many people in this city struggling. 25.2% of the population whose poverty status is determined in Fayetteville live below the poverty line, which is higher than the national average of 15.5. Over 13% more citizens live on total household incomes of under $10,000. Folks, there are so many people struggling. We've got a great community, one of the best volunteer communities in the nation, and I know everybody will continue to help each other, but we've just got to reach out to them as much as possible. We need to also continue our strong support of our police, fire, and first responders, ensuring their protection as well as our citizens. I'd appreciate hearing from everyone about any ideas or concerns for a great city. My email address is ronbachman1@hotmail.com. I'm also on Facebook under Ron Bachman.
I want to thank the church. Thank you, Robert. I want to thank Lionel as well for coming tonight. And there's no doubt that all three of us care about Fayetteville. It's obvious, and the passion of both you gentlemen. I feel like I have the same passion. I want to thank the church, and I'm not sure who else is putting on the forum, but I want to thank you for assembling this and allowing it to happen. But I'm here for a fresh change in Fayetteville, and I think we need new leadership. I'm confident that I can provide it. I think we can do things better than we've been doing. Not to say that Lionel has been a failure. I think he's passionate about the city and he loves the city. So do I. But I think it's time for a change, and hopefully on November 8th you'll consider me and consider voting for me to be the next mayor. Thank you.
And so now we're going to transition to our city council segment. So I know we have several people here for that.